Hello everybody, this is Mr. Yen, and this is the instructional video for lesson 8.6b, Transformed Exponentials. The first thing that you need to know is for today's lesson, you are going to be doing a lot of copying and pasting screenshots. So if you're not sure how to do that, the first 3 slides give you instructions for how. This is the instructions for how to do it on a Chromebook, and there's an instructional video at the bottom if that's helpful to you. Then, or if you're using a PC, these are the instructions, or if you're on a Mac, these are the instructions. The work starts on slide 4. To do this exercise, you're going to be using Desmos. So what you want to do is click on this link where it says Desmos, and it'll take you to a specific graph that has already been started for you, just like this. Now let's go back to the slide. So it says first, let's see how changing the zero term, that's the b part of the function, affects the exponential function f of x is equal to b times the common ratio of r to the x power. This is the function that we're starting with, where the b value is 1. And that is already the function that should be loaded on the Desmos screen. First thing that we want to do is change that b value from 1 to 5 and see what happens. So go back to Desmos. To do the changing, you can move these sliders. So I want to change this b value. Right now, it's set to b equals 1. So the b value is 1. I can move this slider around to change it to 5. And I want you to, as you change it from 1 to 5, I want you to watch the graph and see what happens. Okay, so now it's 5. The r value and the k value, we're going to keep those the same for these first few exercises. We're just changing this b value. So you'll notice that the curve kind of started to become more steep, and now the y-intercept changed from 1 to 5. So I would go back into the slide. Oh, actually, no. Also, what I want to do is take a screenshot. So whatever computer you're using, press the correct buttons. And I'm taking a screenshot here. You don't need the whole graph, just part of it is fine, like that. Okay, and I took the screenshot so that it's saved to my clipboard. So all I have to do is come back into the slide, paste with Control V or Command V, resize it as needed, and just place it right in here. And then when it asks how does increasing the b value change the function, I can say something like the curve becomes steeper and the y-intercept changes to 5. And then you're going to do the same thing, except this time change the slider so that the b value, instead of being positive 5, is negative 5. Repeat the same step, screenshot the graph, paste it in here, and then explain in words how changing the b value to negative 5 changed the function. That's what you'll do for this slide. For the next slide, now instead of changing the b value, now we're changing the r value, the common ratio. So we're starting with the same starting function. I'll go back into Desmos. I'm going to move this slider back to 1. And this time I'm changing the r value to 5, I think, right? Yeah. So I move this slider instead. Change this to 5. And as you do that, I want you to watch the graph carefully and see what happens as you do that. Okay, so this is a common ratio of 5, screenshot it, do the same process. Right, then change the R value to 0.5, screenshot it, change the R value to -5, screenshot it, type in your answers here. What do you notice? And then for the last one, you're changing the K value, the constant. That's the number that's added at the end of the function. So make sure you reset the function back to 1 to the 2x power, and then do +5, and then change the K value to -5, and repeat the same process.